Good afternoon and welcome to Panwo TV. This is going to be slightly different videos from the ones you'll be used to from me. As you're no doubt aware, I generally have a kind of jovial and playful attitude to making films. This one's going to be a little bit different. In this one I'm going to get angry. I'm going to have a go at somebody actually. So this is an official Panwo TV rant. If you don't like rants, I suggest you switch off now. Yeah, this is kind of an addendum to the protesting the Pope videos that I've made. You may well have seen. As you know, I went to the protesting the Pope event in London on Saturday, and I made a series of videos there. The subject I'm going to talk about today I did not cover in those videos that I made. What happened was, while I was there, I had a rather saddening and annoying experience. What happened was, I met up with somebody I know vaguely, not someone I sort of talk to regularly, but it's someone I know vaguely. He's a very well-known producer of independent and sort of alternative films about truth subjects, conspiracies and things like that. I'm not going to tell you his name. I'm not going to identify him in any way, because this is not a video where I intend to slur someone in the eyes of you, the viewer. You know, this is about me and my own feelings towards him, and it would be unprofessional and unethical of me to actually name him to you. I don't want to turn to you and try and put you off him, because to tell you the truth, the videos he makes are actually very good, and you know, I still think they're worth seeing. This is my personal feelings, and I mean, if he's watching, he'll know who he is, and I hope he is watching. What happened was, we had a nice discussion and we were getting on very well. Like I said, I had a lot of respect for this man as a fellow truth filmmaker. Then the subject went on to Kevin Annett. Now, if you're not familiar with Reverend Kevin Annett, he's a Canadian clergyman who has he's an exceptionally good campaigner in my view, and someone I deeply admire. I haven't got time to go into his background now, but go to Google Video and click Unrepentant, the film Unrepentant. I'll put a link in the description box. There's also a website called hiddenfromhistory.org, and you'll get all the background you need to him there. This man I've just been telling you about, the man I met on Saturday, when we got onto the subject of Kevin Annett, he started saying some really unpleasant and ignorant things. He said, oh, that Kevin Annett hasn't got what it takes. He's a wimp or a pussy. Or use some words like that. He says, oh, I was going to interview him, but now I'm not going to bother. He's a waste of time. What started this off was the fact that the demonstration on Saturday afternoon was not the only event connected with the Pope that day. There was another event early on the morning in which the Pope appeared at the Westminster Roman Catholic Cathedral in London, and there several people went along there to give out flyers and things like that, and I was one of them. I gave out some flyers to some reporters. Now, Kevin was supposed to come along to that. Now, he couldn't make it. The reason he couldn't make it was the police had been around to see him, and they told him he would be arrested if he came within 500 yards of Westminster Cathedral. Now, if you watch Unrepentant and look at his website, you'll realise why that is. So I turned up with a few other people, and we had a really good morning. Now, this man seemed to hold the fact that Kevin obeyed the police instruction and didn't turn up at Westminster Cathedral as a sign of somehow weakness or failure on his part. I'd like to address this person directly if you're watching. You know, how dare you pass judgment on Kevin Annett in that way? Who the hell do you think you are? He's a wimp, he's a pussy. You don't even understand the first thing about truth campaigning and truth seekers and freedom fighters if you could possibly make a statement like that about a great man like Kevin Annett. Kevin Annett has single-handedly stood up for the rights of the Native American population of Canada. He has tirelessly campaigned to expose the genocide and murder and rape and torture of Native American children in Canada at enormous personal cost to himself. He's been defrocked from the United Church of Canada. He's been sacked from his job. He lost his home. He lost his family. His marriage broke up. He lost custody of his children because the church paid for his wife's lawsuit. I mean, he lost his friends. He lost his reputation. He lost everything because he was to expose this monstrous crime, this 100-year-old campaign of genocide in Canada. And you turn around to him and call him a wimp. You should be ashamed of yourself. Now the reason this guy called him a wimp, I'm going to talk to you now, Panword TV viewers. The reason this guy called him a wimp was he thought that Kevin should have turned up at Westminster Cathedral and just gone in there, you know, guns blazing, and got himself arrested. Of course, if that had happened, Kevin would have spent the day in a police cell and he wouldn't have been able to participate in the events later in the afternoon. That is the big demonstration which you saw on the news. He wouldn't have been able to talk to the media. He wouldn't have been able to take part in the rally or any of those things. Just by turning up Westminster Cathedral where there was just a handful of people there and getting himself nicked. And this twat that I spoke to at the demonstration seems to think that that's a sign of Kevin's failure and his weakness. Well, it's not. This is the problem, right? There are too many people now in the truth campaigns who are in it for their own egos. Right? They're not interested so much in exposing these crimes. They're not so much interested in creating a free world. They're just in it to make themselves look cool. You know, they're basically copycatting the Love Police, a lot of them. Now, I've got a lot of respect for the Love Police. Charlie Veitch is a great guy. I know him vaguely from AV and I've watched his stuff. Now, he is genuine, but there's too many copycats of him. Okay, and this guy's one of them, I think. Who they think, you know, they'd rather just go in somewhere strutting around like a peacock with a megaphone glued to their mouth until some copper comes over and nicks them, and then flashbulbs go and there's cameras filming them. Oh, you're looking, guys, I'm being arrested. Oh god, this is going to get a few hits on YouTube. I'm going to be a real freedom fighter and people will kiss my ass. Well, no, Kevin actually is more interested in actually doing something to further his cause and actually help doing something useful to make a difference. There's a slight difference, and it's, you know, few people have heard of Kevin. Not so many people sort of like sort of worship him, but I mean that's because he cares about the Indians, his children. He doesn't care about making himself look cool. You know, this is the thing. I mean, it's the best work in the Truth Foundational movement and the anti-conspiracy movement of all kinds is very often done by virtual unknowns. People who are not famous, they're not cool, they're not seen on YouTube with millions of hits and everyone goes, oh, aren't they wonderful? They're not seen strutting around like bloody ponces with everyone staring at them. Okay, they just do things quietly behind the scenes that actually have an impact. So that's why I'm so angry with this man. That's why talking to him was an enormously disillusioning experience. I've lost all respect I had for him. In fact, all I feel from now is deep contempt. I'm not going to say any more than that. I'm not going to prejudice you, the viewer, against him. I'm not even going to mention who he is. I just hope he's watching, and I would say to him if he is, get your head out of your arse. Quit judging people, all right? If the point you want to make is you're so cool and fancy, well, you know, leave the real freedom fighting to people who want freedom, all right? And don't just want to have it, you know, look, wow, wicked. Okay? Thank you.